What's up, sorcerers, initiates, and grandmasters alike? Gothic has arrived. We did a video over the pre-cons. We're opening those, but this is going to be my first box impressions. What do I think of the set after opening just one box? How do I feel? And let's just look at the box talking about that first. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. Sorcery, Eric's Curiosa, they do a great job with the packaging. It's actually got a flip lid on it with magnets. The art is good. Don't forget about your desk code. If you're newer, that is a reward system for sorcery. You can get some cool promo cards and stuff, some play mats. And the art here by Ian Miller is just fantastic. Here we're going to flip the lid open a little bit. I do have this kind of sped up. The Evil Within seal that you have to break. Again, great touch. You see how the lid flips up. It has magnets. And inside, there's the Ian Miller artwork. We have some dividers with the packs there. Box topper right on the top in the middle, usually. I kind of dumped mine a little bit, so it's a little messed up. I don't think they'll always be like that. Here, we're going to do a shake test. Will the magnets hold? They, in fact, do not. Do not. It's a nice box, but don't store your cards in it and then try and turn it upside down. It's best just to leave it on the shelf, hold your cards, don't throw it into your trunk. Here's the box toppers. I did not know what to expect from this. I didn't have many spoilers. I tried to kind of avoid that. We have our skeleton war tokens, a new frog. We have a new purple frog that's huge. Stealth token. Here we says, with Gothic, we invite you to dream again, to think boldly, play wisely, and lose yourself in painted worlds. And there is the artist. That's all the artists that participate in Gothic. This one confused me a little bit. The Desecrated Ground, and then we have Consecrated Ground on a flip card, like double-sided. There must be a card that uses that. There's some cards that consecrate or desecrate ground, I assume. So they just give you that so you have it. The collection and Warden Evil, we go over that in the pre-cons. New Rubble token, probably my favorite Rubble. And then these are cards that are just found being used by the collection a lot. And here we're going to get out the packs. We're going to get into the meat of it. There's going to be a little bit of pack opening. I'm going to do like the first pack, show you guys the first pack. And then we're going to go over the box and talk about some cards that kind of stood out to me. Some strategies that seem to be important in Gothic. As far as the set in general, I have to say it seems very, how would you say, limited friendly. Like if you want to play sealed or if you want to draft, this seems like a set. It almost seems like it's built for that. There's a lot of new stuff that's introduced in Gothic, but there's also just a lot of like hard counters for everything in Gothic. Like in an enclosed environment, in a vacuum. I haven't played yet. I'm going to play later this week, actually. I'm waiting for my buddy to get some of his cards. So I got my stuff a little earlier. So I'm holding back another box. I'm not going to open it. I'm going to open it with him, and we're going to build some decks. And I'll probably end up doing a more traditional box opening video later. But I do want to get in and play, and then I'll probably get on Curiosa and kind of look up everything after that. Spoil myself for everything, look up and find, because I don't even know what the big hits are. I don't know what are the money cards. Are there some crazy artifacts in Gothic? I didn't see any. It seems like a very balanced set. Again, it seems very balanced. There's nothing crazy wild like a Ring of Morgan that I've seen or had spoiled, but there might be. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see to get a hold of all of that. And here we're opening our first pack, the Martyrs of Tomorrow, Ravenous Werewolf, Charge with Movement. And we're going to go over some other cards here in a minute. Bound Spirit, we Freeze. I kind of like Freeze. I don't know. There's a lot of this art that kind of reminds me by Juan here. It's like, reminds me of like 80s sword and sorcery stuff in Gothic. I mean, there's a lot of that in sorcery as a whole, I guess, but some of these just really bring the vibe, and I love that. But Juan Machuca, sorry if I don't pronounce it quite right. His art stands out a ton to me. I love it. Him and Ian Miller seem to have a lot of stuff in this set, and I really like it. And that flaming skull there, I absolutely love that one. So shout out in the comments. Let me know what your favorite artist in Gothic is so far. What card is really standing out to you, or cards. But here's the box. Here's the cards laid out that really kind of stood out to me. And to start with some ordinaries that I really liked, we have Instigator Imp. The Genesis, 2 enemy minions fight at target location. It could potentially kill 2 enemy minions if they kill each other for 2 mana, and you get a little imp guy to stick around behind. That is crazy good. That's not always going to work out that way. Another frog. Frog cantrip, in fact. Draw a spell. Love that. Raise Militia, which is kind of the opposite of Border Militia. You get skeletons instead of foot soldiers. And Vampire Bats. So I had a kick with Blood Ravens. Vampire Bats are bringing that back with 2 power. I feel like that's going to make them a lot better. They're going to stick around the board a little longer. Granary Rats. There are a lot of rats and stuff getting under your opponent and getting rid of their threshold. An Angry Mob killing elites and uniques. I don't know if it's going to be great. Maybe good and limited. Detonate really sets the tone for fire. And we got another kind of cantrip there. Carrion Beetles. Again, another counter to all that graveyard shenanigans. And then we have some spellcasters. Airborne, 2 for 2. Spellcasters are usually kind of an upsell, like you're paying more mana. Here we got 2 power for 2 mana, and they're airborne, and they're spellcasters. And then we have spellcasters in the subsurface now as well. I think these are huge. We know Tawny was a big deal. Airborne spellcasters are good. And here's another thing akin to limited. Like, these sites, I feel like, are going to make limited, sealed, and draft so much better, easier to use, multiple thresholds without throwing cards in there that are crazy, And then we have some ramp cards here. We have one for water, overflow, and landmass for land sites. I dig this, drawing a site and then being able to play an extra one. And then just like the villages from Alpha Beta, now we have sites that can summon skeletons from various elements. And then a frog one for the for water. I don't know if there's one for fire. I didn't get it. If there is, these are some exceptionals. Again, Searing Truth. Card draw has been rough. We won it. Some more frogs. 4 fat frogs. That's great. Great artwork too. Swap. Movement and manipulating the board is always good. Everyone's been talking about Swap. Hot Wheels has come out. That one surprised me. Lost a game to my daughter. She was playing the Necromancer and killed me with Hot Wheels. Vesper Swarm, moving to a wounded minion. Wounded minions being kind of a reference now, a thing that are in the mechanics. We haven't seen that before, but movement's good. Wounding a minion and then flying the bats there to finish it off. And the Stygian Archers stood out to me as just a great skeleton generator. And then the Hauntless Head. We have the Headless Haunt, and now we have the Hauntless Head. And the Meat Hook, turning another minion into a butcher, sounds absolutely crazy. It's going to be expensive. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it's cool. And then we have these exceptional dual element magics. Invigorate here is the one that stood out to me the most. Increase in power, gain a little life. I also like Scatter, pushing enemies or any units around. Movement is great, whether it's you or forcing your opponents to move. And then here we have those dual elemental sites that I was talking about. One for each. We haven't seen that before. And then some themes here. Some elites that I liked. The Book Burners, Banishing, Graveyard, and Documents. Again, a spellcaster here on Paladins of Bazia. Spellcat 4 for 4, spellcaster and ward. Spellcasters have power crept a little bit. And then we have the Aether Amoeba. I love the Mega Amoeba. Love it. I don't know if this is as powerful because voids will go away throughout the game. Hemoglobin, setting your opponent's maximum life to a low number so they can't heal anymore. Hemoglobin can just turn off healing just completely. The Mega Lurker I like because it comes in as a Genesis. And if an ally died last turn, it can drag the killer to the site. And you can summon it burrowed, and it can still drag that thing over, even if it's on top. Force movement, again, I love. This is kind of a mortals to evil, like a level up deck using Sinister Pond or something like that. So I think this card could be super cool. And then we have the Sexy Succubus, of course. But again, actually on the Sexy Succubus, it once on turn, you may lure a target adjacent enemy minion to take a step. Deals 2 damage, and you get a heal 2. I really like that. Akin to those, it does water things, those other water cards that pull enemy units in. And then we have some cards that reference ordinaries. We have the Pitchfork, which kind of buffs them up. And then the Earl doesn't interact with ordinaries. So this is great. Of course, we have Common Sense. We've seen that before, but maybe an ordinary deck will be a thing. And then here with Mimic, we have some artifact kind of animation. We had that with Gross Poltergeist, and now we're getting some more support with that. Infusion Factory, very interesting to have it on a site as well. I like Mimic a lot. I'm probably going to try that out at some time. And then here we have Submerge and Burrow Hate, killing things and pulling them up from under the subsurface. My only thing is with this is I haven't seen any Burrow or Submerge minions that are crazy strong enough to justify playing this kind of stuff yet. There's Root Spider. That's big. But I don't know. And then we have some of this here's burrowing, and then some of the stuff that does passive damage on your opponent's sites, kind of like Devil's Egg would. And there's a lot of it. There's a couple ordinaries, exceptional there, and then an elite. So there's a lot of stuff to just deal passive damage to your sites. These are our avatars. I found these in the exceptional slot. These are the precons, and then the animist was the other one that I got. Animating magic spells seems super interesting. But that's all I got for avatars. And then some uniques, movers of mountains, moving and manipulating the sites on the board for only 2 mana. I think that could be really good. Some evil minions getting burrowing. So maybe there is some burrowing. Maybe there is a little bit more burrowing than I thought. We'll see if it's good enough. And then we have these multi-elemental unique magics. I got Death Wish and Life Wish. They both affect both players. Both avatars get these effects. So it's going to be a give and take kind of thing. Here we have the Doom of Dilmun. 8 mana, that 4 threshold. So big threshold, big abilities though. He does have burrowing, but he can't be destroyed by different things. The Flood I wasn't as impressed with. And then I actually got the Apex of Babel as well. And I think that's good. Draw a spell and then play a spell for free. Yeah, you got to do some stuff for it. But those are the uniques that I got. Here are the foils. We got Murder of Crows on the ordinaries there. Holy Warrior, I think, is my favorite. Might even be my favorite art in the set that I've seen so far. I really like this. I think the foiling on this one looks absolutely fantastic. What's this? Forlorn Keep. Not quite as does. Holy Warrior came in early strong. So Road to Perdition, exceptional sight. That Ian Miller, a lot of Ian Miller in this. The active volcano, the face in the mountain, and the volcano there in the background. The Kissers of Wounds. This card is weird. I'm not gonna lie, not bad. And then we have Golgor. I got an elite, which seems pretty good because he can use this ability when he comes in as 7 mana. I shy away from the big expensive creatures because they come in, they get removed, and they do nothing. But that's what we got. That's what I got in Gothic. Like I said, everything here seems balanced. That's what I would say. This is a balanced set. But let me know what you think about Gothic so far. Like I said, this is just my first box impressions. I'm going to play a little more. Probably going to do a more traditional box opening. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it.